Jim Norton is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of SiriusXM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
Oh, I hear the music. I'm rushing to put my headset on. Hello. Ah, boy, I really was under the gun today. I took a shower before. Sorry, I hope my voice is okay. Hey, Lou, if you can just tell me if I'm modulating properly. Okay, you guys couldn't hear that, but Lou just said, "You are great," in what is his deep, sexy radio voice. He cooed it into my ear. And this is how OCD, what a fucking idiot I am. As I'm talking to you, I'm looking across the kitchen at my rug, and it's bumpy, and I think it should be straightened out. Actually, on the radio, I want to go over there and straighten it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to talk to you people. But that's what a mental case I can be sometimes. And I was rushing to get ready because I'm going to Anthony's after this. I'm going to be on Anthony's show. I haven't been on in a while. So I wanted to be prepared just to run out the door, you know, because his show, he has a big announcement today, which people have been asking me about. We obviously all know what it is. So I'll just say it. He's finally admitting that he is indeed a black man. And all these years, he has been working deep cover, getting information on Whitey. And today, Anthony is going to announce what he has learned about the white man. No, I'm kidding. That's not it, of course. He's, I believe, actually announcing that he's only going to be dating women over the age of 16 from June of 2018 on. So I think for the next 2.5 years, everything's a go. But from June 2018 on, he's a new man. It'll be good to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. I've had a good, very stressed financially. You know, it's funny. I was on the way to work this morning, and I thought about something, not work-related. It was to do with this apartment that I'm moving to. And, you know, the finances of it came up. And I could feel myself getting into a rage and starting conversations in my head. And I don't know what anger management teaches you, but it must be to catch those signals, because I stopped it. I could feel it starting, like, and I just like, shut up, you're on your way to work. You're going to walk in a cunty mood. You know, everyone's come back from a few days off Easter, you know, fucking E-Rock and Ope and, you know, young Paul and Roland, and Travis, and they just have to deal with my shittiness. So I caught myself, and it does help when you catch yourself and go like, all right, man, stop it. You're feeding into it, just cut it out. So I've had a decent few days. I met a lady last night, a young lady. We just went to dinner, and it was really weird. We wound up, you know, we had a really nice time. She's really bright and a fun person to talk to. And then we were walking around outside for a little bit. And it's always that weird moment when you want to ask a girl to come over. But, like, I knew I wasn't trying to be pervy. Like, you know, it's like, I know it always sounds like you're not, but I really wasn't. I was just like, hey, we'll hang out and watch something. And she was like, okay. And she came over and we're sitting on my sofa, flipping through Netflix and, of course, Amazon. And it's amazing when you just can find nothing you want to watch. So I saw 52 Pickup, which is from the 80s with Anne Margaret and Roy Scheider. And I was like, oh, yeah, I used to love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, let's watch it. I'm like, I don't know. Now I start thinking, like, I don't know. Is it good enough to watch, you know, with a girl the first time I'm meeting her? But we did. And that's what I did last night. That was I don't even know if it was a date. It was just a hang. We had a lovely dinner. And then we watched 52 Pickup. So long, sport! And it was quite a delightful evening. And then she went home and I went to bed. It was nice to have somebody over and not even think of being a pervert. I guess that's the point I'm making. I felt very normal last night. All right, we have a couple of, good question. Rich in Nebraska. Thank goodness you're calling. Let's straighten this fucking mess out. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Jim. Gotta kiss your butt just first. My wife and I drove 6 hours from Nebraska to see you in Denver, and it was worth it. It was so great.
Well, thank you, sir. A real fan would have driven 8, but I appreciate you, man. Your little measly 6-hour drive. Thank you for coming, man. That's always nice to hear.
It was well worth it. I just wondered, you said at the show about the fan photos on your website, and I just haven't been able to find them, and I'm wondering if there was a problem or...
Well, there was a problem, but the photos are fine. The Portland and Denver photos are all fine, and they are going up. But I had them posted, and it was showing no images found. Thank you to the fan who emailed me. A little more respect would have been nice, other than, hey, scumbag, where's the pictures? But they are going up. There's a glitch, not with the pictures, but in something on the site with the naming of the page or whatever it was. It's being fixed. It should be fixed in a week or so. But the photos are fine, and they will be going up. And I am going tomorrow night to Philadelphia. And I'm also going to Delaware on Friday. I cannot wait. So thank you for the call, Rich. But those pictures are in good shape, and they will be up.
All right, I appreciate it. And we love you, and hope to see you in Nebraska sometime.
Yeah, you know what, man? There's going to be a second leg to this tour added. Mike, my agent, and I were talking, and it's like, I know I want to do Minneapolis. I have not done, my old agent, my dear friend Pete, would always call it Mini. And I would always want to throw the fucking phone. But now I do it. So I want to do Minneapolis. And the music festival I was supposed to do in Florida has been canceled until September. There was an issue with tickets, so they pushed the music festival with Kiss and Def Leppard to September. So hopefully I will still be there in September. And I want to get Oklahoma. Finally. I've been saying that. I'm dying to get up to Canada. We are looking at Australia. These are all things, and I want to do Europe. Fucking Bill Burr sexily whispering in my ear all these goddamn years. Dude, you gotta go. Every week I do my Bill Burr impression. Dude, Jim, who told you they would love you? But he's right, and Bill's a sensation all over the globe. So he said the first time you might not draw, but whatever, it's worth it just for the experience. And at age 47, tick-tock, tick-tock, the clock is ticking, Clarice. I really want to fucking get out there and see the world and go to Cuba. Hi, Chad in Idaho. What's up, buddy?
Guys, quick question for you. Are you going to do a cribs episode on your new apartment? Like how you did on your that one that you and Florentine were sharing that one time? That's
funny. The new apartment that I'm moving into is such a money pit. And again, I guess it's part of it. It was one of those things where I had to be gut renovated because everything in it was shit. Everything in it was shitty. The floors were grimy and dirty. The place itself is nice. I like the space. But of course it's taking longer and it's more expensive. It's just a whole fucking thing. So to do a cribs in there, I wouldn't do a cribs because it's just going to look new. And it's like, nobody wants to see a fucking, it was funny to show a shitty apartment, but you don't want to show people, like, hey, look at this, I got a cool apartment. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one cares. But I would have done like a home improvement show or something, but we weren't able to get that together. It's just a fucking nightmare, dude. It's getting this stuff. There's one filthy old toilet in it right now that the workers use to piss. And it's like every time they come at you, it's thousands of dollars, like to do this, to do that, And and again, I think that the guy is doing good work, and I think that the woman knows what she's doing, but the estimating skills need a little work, with the amount of time and money. But no, I don't think I'll do a cribs. I just don't think anybody would be interested in it.
I gotcha. Well, I'll let you go, but just one thing, would love to have you in Idaho. I know.
Idaho, yes. I've never done Idaho, and I've also I want to go back to Salt Lake City. So there's 3: Idaho, Salt Lake City, Minneapolis. Oklahoma, that's 4. Working on it. All right, buddy, thank you.
Later, bye.
Let's see, in Brooklyn, you and your wife are trying to get rid of your annoying, awkward friend. Oh, no, what's going on?
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing?
Did you hear me just clear my throat, or did my cough button work?
No, I heard a instead of a cough.
Oh.
It's a trade-off, but it still worked.
All right, so I don't know, Lou, can you tell me, is the cough button working? If it's not, I apologize. I've been hitting it every time. All right, Lou said it's working. Hi, guys.
All right, so we have this friend of ours that she's sweet and everything, and she came to our wedding, and she's lovely. except that she's just a little bit too much for us, and my wife has been trying to find a nice way to kind of keep putting her off, and she still answers her calls. My wife is very, very sweet and kind, and my advice is just don't answer the call, but I think she's afraid that she's going to hurt this person, and she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to hang out with her anymore. Do you have is there anything you could help us? I know it's kind of weird.
She don't answer her calls all the time. Like, you don't live with her. Like, just... So, there's a thing to being honest, but you also don't want to hurt people either. Like, there's no gain in hurting her. So you might want to, just talk or hey, me and my husband have been really busy lately. Keep it down to texting, all that stuff. But there's a way to slowly ease away from somebody. You don't have to do it and say, hey, you're annoying. Cause, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings.
Right, so just simply don't kind of start to pull away and say we're kind of busy. I don't know if we can keep going with this, and eventually kind of just stop communication. Then. Yeah,
you're just busy. You're not obligated to talk to someone you don't want to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But just I would say pull a little bit back slowly. That's all.
Okay, thanks, Jimmy. We love you on the show. My brother and I listen to you all the time, and we're huge fans of you.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Take care, Jimmy.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, Ed in Baltimore. What's up, Ed?
Hey, Jimmy. I saw you in the Goobies last year. Awesome
Thank
show.
You,
buddy. I just wondered what you thought about your true thoughts, if you want to give them, about Martha Kelly today. Did she sound a little Lita Fordish to you?
No. No, Martha is just... I think Martha's a very deadpan person. Like, that's how she delivers. That's who she is. Like, and I think that's probably, and I don't know her before today, but I know we have a lot of mutual friends. And she was actually laughing a lot. I don't know if you could hear it, but sitting next to her, you could see it. She was really enjoying herself. She's one of those people who's just a very kind of quiet. She's really honest, though. Like, no, she didn't strike me as Lita Fordish in that she was saying, like, yeah, I know, I just suck the fun out of things. Like, she's one of these people that really does voice all of the negative shit she's thinking about herself.
Yeah.
But she's just a mellow person. Like, that's who she is as a comedian. And that's why Zach Galifianakis called her. Because he knows her in his personal life and from doing stand-up and being a friend, and he knew this is who I want in this show. She won't even have to act.
Yeah,
so
that's cool. Nothing against her. I just was like, it felt like you and Opie were, like, just doing anything you could to drag something out of her, and then whenever you did, it was like, oh, yeah, and then I was cutting, and then I was nearly suicidal. I'm like, is that her stage act? Or, like, is that her being her act, or is that who she is? You know what I'm saying?
Literally, that is just, I think that's who she is. I don't think she was trying. She wasn't coming into the studio using her stage persona. Do you know what I'm saying? It was nothing like that. It was like literally she was being very sweet and very genuine. I enjoyed her a lot. That's why we asked her to stay through Jamie Hector. Even though it might seem awkward and like a little slower, but that's how she communicates. And she was being really open and she said some funny shit. And I love the fact that she calls herself out just for sucking the fun out of the room. That just makes me laugh.
Yeah, yeah, she was good and you guys were great. I wasn't sure if she was, you know what I mean? Like when she acknowledged herself like as being, like you said, sucking the air out of the room.
Yeah, which was funny. Yeah,
that was a joke. Yeah, but so I just wanted to know what you thought about her. But thanks. Keep up the good work, man.
Okay, it's funny. Thank you very much for this other suggestion I just got here. Bill in Reno, what's your question, you little silly goose?
Hey, Jefferson. Hey,
what's going on, sock cucka?
Yeah, I would love to. It's been a while. Yeah, dude, you got to come out to Reno. Good comedy scene out here.
Okay, yeah, I would love to. I'm actually writing that down as we speak into an email from my agent, Oklahoma or Oklahoma City. Okay, thank you very much, buddy.
All right, peace out.
I will get out to Reno. Let's see here. Brad in New Orleans. What's up, Brad?
What's up?
All right, I'll be back there in a minute. All right,
See you later.
Later, bye.
Hey. Brad?
Yo, Jim.
What's up, buddy?
Fucking love you, Jimmy. Hey,
Thank you,
why
man.
is New Orleans such a shitty city for comedy.
But is it a shitty city? I mean, I'm actually enjoying. Ticket sales are pretty good for my show.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm actually really happy.
And I will see you there. But it just seems like we only get some of the bigger acts. There's really no scene here for first timers and starters. So it's I don't know. Guess that's a tough question for you to answer. Anyway, I can't wait to see
I don't know much about it. I've been there, and people have been asking me to come for years. So I'm looking forward to getting down there. It's supposed to be really good crowds, so I'm very, very much looking forward to it.
Can't wait to host you, sweetie.
All right. Did he say, can't wait to host you, Sweeney? Or Sweetie? He might have said Sweetie. Well, whatever it is. Sweetie, I'll accept. Let's see, Mark in Kansas.
Jim?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? Holy shit. I've been a fan for like 20 fucking years. I never called you. I'm fucking nervous.
Don't be nervous. I'm an easygoing good egg. How are you?
Oh, you're the best. Hey, I was just calling. I don't know if you're seeing right now. Mike Machete is fighting with Artie on Twitter right now. Mike is saying he doesn't need Artie anymore. This is fucking nuts, right? You probably haven't even heard about it.
No, I have not. Is it?
Mike feels like he's a jester, and Artie made this guy like thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't believe the fight. I think they're joking.
Oh, you think so?
I'm looking at it right now as we're talking.
I would love to know. I would love to not that it's a joke, but Mike won't go on the show anymore. You know, he's been hanging out with this girl Stacy. I probably have the most irrelevant call of your whole show, and I'm sorry for that. But
wow, why would? Yeah, I'm listening. I'm trying to find the tweet where Mike said.
Mike is saying that Artie cost him work because of how people perceive him now because of Artie's show and everything.
Well, I don't know if that's true. I don't know the dynamics between those two.
Yeah.
It sounds like a joke, but I haven't read any of the tweets. As we're talking, I can't focus on the tweets. I'd rather listen to you, so I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I love both those guys, and I've been listening to Artie a lot. I listen to you. It's hard for me to listen to you and Anthony and Opie because you guys were like my parents for 20 years and you broke up. Now I'm fucked up over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a really weird dynamic. The fans have been put in a very weird place. A lot of them really hate us for it, and will never forgive us.
You guys got divorced, and I'm pissed.
Yeah, but I mean, the bottom line is what they don't look at is that show stayed together. I've said this many times. It was a really fucking volatile show, and it stayed together a lot longer than I ever thought it would. Those guys were fucking riding in a patched up boat for years. And everybody's mad that the ship finally sank, but the reality was no one is like, God damn it, man, we are lucky we got 4 or 5 extra years out of that because that was doomed. Just because they were fighting.
I try to look at it that way, but I'm like, holy shit, what are we gonna do now, But I do what I can. Hopefully in the future, y'all can work something. Try to force a relationship again for all of us. You know what I mean?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with those guys. I would be thrilled if they got back together, but maybe they're both enjoying their own thing. The advantage I have over Anthony and Opie is that I get to go out and do my own thing. As a comedian, you get to go out and really do, and Opie has his videos and he had his documentary show with Justin and Anthony had Live at the Compound, but it's kind of hard when you're part of a team, and all of a sudden it's like, who am I as an individual and what am I without this teammate? Am I any good? So I'm sure they both have to deal with that. But, I miss the show being together.
It's such a weird situation, but I guess you guys are in the best situation, still making some decent cash. It's about as good as it could have went.
Dude, I'm making my living. This is my job. I mean, it's my job and I love doing it. So I don't know. I always hold out hope, though, of course.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not like you guys worked at a warehouse. It's a little bit better, you know what I mean?
Oh,
a little bit better than being like that. But, hey, thanks for taking my call, man. I was fucking nervous. This is awesome.
Thanks very much.
I'll talk to you later, man.
Bye. Let's see here. Sheldon in Canada. Hey, Sheldon. Hello.
Jimmy.
How you doing?
Oh, that was weird. Hey, no, there was some kind of interference there, but
Anyway, love you.
Thank you.
Love you on the show. Give you a...
Hello?
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Sheldon, are you still there?
I just turned 40. I'm married to a beautiful woman. She's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. I've got a great job. I make over $100,000 a year. I just can't seem to find a reason to be happy lately, though. It's like something has to change. And I'm not sure what it is. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm 40 and I'm realizing that, I got fewer days ahead of me than I do behind me type of deal. Or have you gone through that?
We do get to that, but it's funny. And I always go back to my, guys I know like Patrice and Greg, who are both dead. Like, they were at their midlife. Patrice and Greg, Greg Giraldo and Patrice O'Neill were, when they were 20 and a half or 22, that was their midlife and they didn't know it. So, it's easy to go like, fuck, man, there's more days behind me than ahead of me. But that could have been the case when you were 17 and you didn't know it. That could have been the case when you were 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to look at it that way. It's natural, I guess, where we're like, oh my God, I got all this stuff I want to do. And they call it this crisis. Can we try to recapture our youth? Or I don't know, dude. I don't know what it's like to be married. For me, I've never let go of that childishness. I still went and saw Black Sabbath alone twice. So I kind of hang on to it. But maybe just be grateful for what you have. And maybe just be grateful that you're still around and you got a great wife. Instead of looking at all the stuff that you're not going to be able to do because you have more days behind you than in front of you, look at the fact that you didn't die when you were 30. Or the fact is you didn't die in your 20s, like so many stupid teenagers do, when they're 18 or 19 drunk driving. Sometimes it helps to be grateful. And that's real easier said than done, but that's what helps me when I'm feeling that way. Just say, hey, man, it stinks. Like, again, I've said this many times in comedy. I look at comedians that are much more famous than me, and I'm like, hey, those guys are just good and I stink. But then I'm like, you negative asshole, shut up. I got a great life. And you have to look at the life you have and like what you like about it and go like, I'm really fucking lucky. I was watching this thing on that crazy site. There was a basketball player. I think he was Russian or, from Kazakhstan or something. And, it's from like the 80s or the 90s. And he's playing, in some professional league over there. And the ref makes a call he doesn't like. And in a moment of anger, he runs towards the backboard of the basketball, but it's concrete. And he smashes his head into it on purpose. And he paralyzed himself. And then he wound up dying years later in a wheelchair. But his life stopped at that moment because of one stupid fucking moment of rage. And I'm like, I've had a million moments of rage like that, and yet I haven't done that. So maybe if you look at it like that, like all the chances there were for your life to go into the fucking toilet, that you did the right thing or you didn't take those or you didn't react inappropriately. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes just walking around and having, hey, look, I can still shit on my own. I'm financially stable enough to pay my bills. I have people that like me. I feel like John Candy in fucking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. My customers like me. But you know what I mean? It's finding the good stuff and then looking at the people who fuck up and looking at the people who blow it and going, God damn it, thank God that I didn't do that.
Well, the thing is that I'm also a recovering alcoholic, and I've been sober for 15 years. And, I always thought, this is the stuff I want. I want to own a house, a nice house, and a new vehicle, and have a beautiful wife and great kids. And I have all that. And now that I got it, it's like, okay, well, now what?
Yeah, there's the, I certainly know, because what do they call it? The God hole, or filling the hole with whatever you want to call it, filling that void with outside things. It's like I always have goals, right? And when I reach those goals, I'll be happy. Like for me, being happy is always, when I can make this much money, when I can live here. If you would have told me one day you're going to someday know Ozzy Osbourne, and you will have met I would have signed up in a second and said, that is the be all end all. How could I ever be unhappy? And yet you get to this point and I'll still be like in the mirror, you're a worthless piece of shit and you've accomplished nothing. Because it literally is all in my head. It's every good feeling I have or every bad feeling I have. It's my perception fucking stinks. It's not seeing things for how good they are. Wow, I'm really lucky. Maybe I'm just addicted to the chase. Maybe you're just addicted to the chase. You know what I mean? Or maybe feeling bad feels good. Like maybe feeling uncomfortable is addicting. So no matter what I say will make me feel good, I have to extend beyond that because I don't know how to enjoy stuff. I mean, I understand what you're saying, dude, totally, but it really is irrational when you break it down. I'm sorry I'm babbling. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate it, but I think, yeah, part of me, like, that still alcoholic thinking comes in. I'm addicted to chaos. I want something fucked up to happen just so I can feel like the way I used to feel, I guess. And now that that's not here, it's like, okay, something's missing here.
Yeah, I understand that. Yes, we get used to that. Adrenaline, you get used to that excitement and that fucking unpredictability, that crazy, even when it's bad. That's why bad relationships can be addicting. That's why when people quit drinking, they start either smoking or eating more. When you quit, you gotta have something. It's really hard to just sit back and relax and go, okay, this is what I have, and I'm okay with it. That's tough. All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it, Jimmy. Hey, real quick. You were a real inspiration for me losing weight. I was 250 at my heaviest, and I'm down to under 200 pounds now, and thank you very much, buddy.
Oh, good. Thank you. Congratulations, bud. That's awesome.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Take care. Good luck. Let's see, y'all. Where's this guy? Ron in New York. Hey, Ron. Hey, buddies.
Hey, Jimmy. Up here in Binghamton. I've seen your live show a number of times. Really loved it every time. My dilemma is I've been separated for a while. I met a woman who's divorced, and about 4 months in, starting to have some emotions for her. And, we're watching a movie one night, and in the movie, the people are asking each other how many sex partners they had. So, kind of giggly, she asked me, and I said, I don't know, about 8, which is honest. I got married young.
Sure.
And she said, I don't know, 30, which probably means 50, So I was just wondering mentally if you ever tried to, kind of get over that in your head with the woman you started to have feelings for. Because I'm like on a fence between, do I go back to my, separated wife, or do I move on with this person and find out down the road that, it was worse than it was? I know it sounds sexist to say it, but,
no,
I just don't know.
It doesn't sound sexist. It sounds insecure. And I relate to it. It's insecure. Because, if your new girlfriend told you, I fucked 50 guys, every one of them had a smaller cock than you. Like, you're by far the best I've fucked. It wouldn't matter. Usually. I think that what happens is we're afraid we're not going to measure up. We're afraid we're not going to stand out. We're not going to be special. And then, maybe it is a little sexist. Maybe we do have these women are whores, men are studs, whatever. But here's how I got over it. Because I had that too, dude. I was insecure. I have a decent cock. It's fine. But I was always like, if a girl had, I've ruined relationships finding out the girl had a boyfriend with a giant dick before me. That's how I get into the whole cuckolding turn-on thing. It was the only way I could not sabotage relationships. Like, because I have this obsession with information. I want to know. And even when it's painful, a part of me liked hurting myself with it and feeling like, oh, her ex-boyfriend had a bigger dick. He was better. He was more valuable.
It's not really the dick thing, though. It's more, okay. I travel with my job, and, I don't know. I actually went to a therapist. She was a female therapist, and she suggested I end it. So,
are you afraid that she'll cheat on you? Because you traveling, what does that mean? You're afraid she's going to cheat on you?
Well, again, I just think, if I'm away for 3 weeks and she's, pretty easy with, crossing that line, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So again,
yes.
like the 30 could be more. 30 could be an embarrassment number. I don't know, but I don't want to bring it up with her because that definitely is insecure.
Well, I know what you mean. I do know. And maybe it's not the dick thing, but it's from the same thing. I'm not going to be enough for her. She's going to need more. Okay, maybe it's not more dick. Maybe it's more partners. Maybe it's more affection. But it all comes down to I am not going to be enough for her. And even if you didn't travel, dude, because, the traveling is one thing. Hey, man, I still work 9 to 5. Or, hey, man, she goes out with her friends a lot. She's probably going to find someone and fuck them. And she told me 30. That means she likes dick a lot. She probably can't be faithful. That's how crazy the wheels get turning. But she did tell you 30. She could have lied, dude. She could have lied and said 15 or 20 or 5. I find that the honesty is refreshing, and I understand the insecurity. But the worst that can happen is stay with her for a little while. I don't agree with just end it. She didn't do anything wrong other than be honest about her past. What the fuck did she do wrong?
did you find peace with it when you said you had that issue?
I wound up just getting turned on by it and thinking, what a dirty girl. Like, I wound up watching a video of my girlfriend fucking her ex, and I was like, this is going to hurt. But I watched it, and I was like, oh, that slut. In a good way. I jerked off. I was like, oh, that big cock-loving slut. And it just began to turn me on. And I used to talk to her about having threesomes and watching her fuck. Like, I was incorporating that thing that I was insecure about into our dirtiness. So instead of me going, oh my God, she took a bigger dick than I have, I was like, oh, you little piglet. And I loved it. And then she knew how to talk dirty. We were fucking one time, and I'm like, if you were fucking me, and we wouldn't talk about her ex because I didn't want to, that was too personal for her. We would watch porn, and I'd be like, what would you do if you were fucking both of us? And she would be like, well, you'd have to wait. And I would be like, why? And she'd be like, well, the bigger cock would take priority. And that drove me crazy because it was so inappropriate, and it was so like, ugh, but it was so pornographic that got me over that hump. And that's how I got into that. But it was born of an insecurity. And I imagine that's how a lot of guys get into it. But now, when I hear these things from women, I don't fall apart. Oh my God, she fucked 30 guys. My history is reprehensible. And even though you've had less partners than her, so what? She could have lied, dude. She could have just said 2 or 3. If she's not cheating on you, fuck it. I don't care if she fucked all the Lakers. Just enjoy her.
So I guess what you're saying is I should go on tour with you and get my numbers up in the double digits.
Absolutely. Good luck.
All right.
You can have them. I'll take your sloppy seconds, sir, because you're due.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right. Joe in Brooklyn. How you doing?
Hey, dude, you could have just said 2.
I can't hear you, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How's everything with you, Jimmy?
I'm good, buddy. Thank you.
Well, I knew my sister was dating my boy, and I actually walked in when they were banging, and I'm kind of like freaked out over it.
Where were they banging then you walked in?
Oh, they were in the beach house that my family and I share. And I didn't even see their car or anything. And I know my friend Tom, he's got like a 14-inch cock. And
you look at your sister like she's a good girl or something, or like I don't like.
Yeah. Well, she's still married.
Well, is she cheating or is she going through separation?
She's cheating on my brother-in-law right now. It's fucked up.
Well, okay, you don't want that, but she's your sister. Sometimes you gotta, as they say, step out and realize it's not your business. Even though you saw something, you gotta sometimes, maybe just let them do what they're gonna do because they're adults and you're too close to it.
Yeah, think I'm wrong for jerking off?
I think, Joe, you'd be wrong if you didn't, for the love of Eve.
What can I tell you? I didn't know who I wanted to bang first. Just crazy.
Oh, Joe,
thanks, man.
You're preaching to the choir, you silly goose. All right. I'll see you later, man. All right. Joe's a good boy. All right. Let's see here. Oh, Mike in the Bronx. What's up?
What up, Jimmy?
Hey, man.
So I'm able to have always been the funny guy, the, class clown, whatever, my whole life. I can control a room, no problem. Sure. There seems to be this huge disconnect from being funny guy in the room to funny guy on stage. And
Sure.
It's where I can go out and do 5-10 minutes someplace, 5 minutes mostly, and it kills. And then other places I go and I'll do the same routine. And all of a sudden it's fucking crickets.
Yeah, that's what being a comedian is. And that's the greatest downfall and exciting part of our jobs. How long are you doing stand-up? I'm sorry.
Say again?
How long are you doing stand-up?
I've been doing it for like 6 years now, but like it's.
How often do you
I have a full-time job, and I'm always writing material, and I'm always going out and testing it out and doing stuff. But I don't make enough money doing it to really leave my full-time job. But it is a full-time job on its own.
Sure. Well, the thing with stand-up is this, dude. I don't know your act, so I can't comment on what you might be doing wrong. But the hardest part is this, you're establishing a relationship with strangers that you have with your friends, and it's not a natural relationship. You have to, what's the first thing you say when you walk on stage?
Like, most of the time when I come up there, I'll be like, all right, relax with the claps. I haven't started yet. This might suck.
Do you really?
Yeah, but sometimes I get a laugh out of that. Like, that'll start, like, kind of, that everything is so tense in the room and then all of a sudden that happens, and I get a few chuckles, and those like they relax, I relax.
Yes, but you also, and again, those type of lines, which I enjoy doing, they can work for you or they can work against you, because when they bomb, the crowd's like, oh, he did say this was going to suck, and he was right. He's a rookie. I'd have to see you do the line, but maybe try another opening line for a while. But it says you're failing miserably as a comedian. My advice to anyone who feels like they're failing miserably is to watch. Do you tape yourself and watch it?
I've never taped myself. I most of the time I don't even I don't even record what I'm saying or have anybody there. I'm very funny and outgoing, but when I see myself, like I've done it for way back, and I remember just being like, oh, I can't listen to myself talk. It sounds fucking asinine.
Well, that's like saying I'm a lawyer, but I don't like reviewing what happened in court because I'm embarrassed by the way I deliver things. Yeah. It's a job. It's a skill that is acquired. The natural funny thing, yeah, that's great. But that doesn't always work on stage. You have to be naturally funny, but you also have to learn how to translate that and establish a relationship. So right now you've pretty much told me why you're failing. Is that you're not doing certain aspects of the work that you got to do. You got to listen to yourself. You have to watch yourself, at least until you're established enough to know instinctively what's working and what's not. But if you're confused by it and you're not sure what to do, try watching yourself. Like, dude, I understand. I hate watching myself. But I do it when I tape a special. I'll go over it 50 times, editing jokes, taking it out, because I still consider it part of the job. So just look at it like it's a part of the job. You're not watching with all your friends eating popcorn. This is part of my fucking job. This is how I get better. So make yourself do it. Doesn't matter if you enjoy it.
All right.
Okay?
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, cool. Let's see here. Eric in Houston, what's up?
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going, buddy?
Okay, how you doing?
Pretty good. Well, so I met this girl about a month and a half ago, and things just clicked. Everything was perfect. It's really strange how fast it happened, I guess. For us, just kind of, I don't know, saying we love each other and all that kind of stuff. It felt like euphoric for both of us.
Yeah, it's like it's a sugar rush.
Yeah, pretty much. But now she is, saying she needs a little space, I guess. She still loves me and all, but she needs a little space because, it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out with every situation, Yeah,
well,
like
it's a little much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just, I guess, a little worried a little bit. Should I be? Or is this normal? I mean...
Well, maybe, do you feel like it got too intense too fast?
I mean, I don't. I don't. I mean, it might have. I mean, we were hanging out pretty much every single day, all that kind of stuff, staying over each other's house, just normal stuff, I guess.
It became a bit of an addiction. And what happens is, you have a sugar rush where you eat a bunch of candy or cake, and then you're buzzing, and then all of a sudden you crash. Well, that's what happens with an addiction. When you crash, when you detox from it, it feels like it's empty, and she's gone, and I'm grieving. But the space is probably healthy. So one of two things will happen. Either you guys will balance out, you'll have a little space, and things will be nice, and you'll learn to deal with having a little space because you have to, and you won't be clingy. Or it will fizzle out, and in that case, it was just an addiction to begin with, and it wasn't going to last anyway.
Okay.
But don't fight her. Give her the space. Don't crowd her. Give her the space.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, dude. And also, I saw you in Houston, and you were awesome. Just lots of love to you, man. You're great.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
But Joe in Virginia, what's up, Joe?
I listen a lot, man. Love you to death. And I hear a lot of callers, like the one earlier, saying, I've got this car and I'm making over $100,000 a year, but I'm still depressed. And I was in the doldrums of self-loathing and depression, and I would tell my wife that, I got a master's degree in counseling. I was a school counselor for 11 years. I was trying to do my own agency counseling. And I realized it's like I just wasn't clicking. And I knew, and I told her this, and this is very important to me, and I think a lot of listeners too. It's like, when your feet hit the floor in the morning, you've got to have something to do that's truly meaningful. And then the happiness will come. And we've all heard, money doesn't bring that, the cars, whatever doesn't bring that. And you look on paper and think, well, I've got a great family, I've got this, I've got that, but I'm not happy. But you've got to have some sort of a project or something to move forward to. And you're still going to be depressed every now and then or whatever. But
sure,
if you're stagnant and you're just sitting there and stewing, that is the absolute worst. And I just want to stress that to all the fucking, listeners that call in and they feel like they're stuck.
You're right. Because, again, I use the example, Robin Williams hung himself. Robin Williams was a respected Oscar-winning actor. He sold out shows wherever he went. He made millions. He was an icon. He knew presidents. Didn't matter. He didn't feel right about things for whatever reason. He was depressed or he had a distorted negative self-image and he killed himself. So, all the outside shit. And again, it's easy for me to say that right now because I'm in a good mood. But when I'm in those doldrums, like you said, logic doesn't matter because it's in a chemical and emotion. You could tell me all the right stuff, but stuff like I did this morning, like catching myself physically and going, stop. This is what you're doing. Focus on something else. That is what helped me. Like logical things after I feel shitty don't always help. So thanks for the call. You're right, though, man.
No problem, man.
All right, take care.
You too.
Be good. Let's see here. Kumal in Queens. I have not seen this. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, Norton? Haven't
hi,
seen
Kamal.
you in many years, man.
How you doing?
How's everything?
Is this my friend Kamal?
Yeah.
Oh, hey buddy, from the Jerky Boys. How you doing, man? We used to live next door to each other on 43rd Street.
Well, I lived on 42nd, but the building extended to 43rd, and sometimes I would come out that way and see you, and you were always a very pleasant person, and I can't believe I'm so happy for you how in time you became such a household name and everything. When I met you, you were just kind of starting out a little bit, right?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while, but I was just starting to get a little radio notoriety, but things have progressed pretty nice. How are you doing?
Well, I'm a filmmaker now. Probably, the only thing keeping me from blowing my brains out, but it gives me the joy, the sadness. Really, the only thing I got right now. I look forward to making a film, even though it's when you're making these low budget independent films, it's like impossible to get money. It's a real struggle, but
sure.
It gives that thing you're missing when you become middle aged.
Well, are you because you and Johnny don't do anything together anymore. Is there bad blood between you guys, or is it just like, hey, we?
Terrible, horrible.
Is it
terrible?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, the minute it all started before we even became famous. Like when we just had the bootleg tape out and we were nobody. It all started when we always shook hands on look, if anything ever comes out of this, we started this off as a goof, as friends. Let's not let money get in the way. The minute the first check came in, he got together with lawyers behind my back and everything. They thought he was going to be like the next John Belushi or something like that. And the next thing I knew was 60-40 his. What I'm saying? So it was like bad blood,
Yeah, money does that sometimes. People just, it's tough in a partnership. Even when things are 50-50, it's tough to make it work. And when they're not, I'm sure it's even harder.
Yeah, the funny thing is, and I was going to quit, but I went on a trip, I'm from Bangladesh on my father's side, and we went there, and I was telling him the story. And right when I was telling him the story, we saw a big pile of garbage, about 100 feet high, with a bunch of children on the garbage, eating it, because they were so poor. And he stopped the car and he said, "You see that?" He goes, "That's how most people in the world live, because it's so poor in the world, but you don't know that because you're an American." He goes, "If you quit something where you can make a couple of dollars from it, doing something that stupid, that insignificant, when this is going on in the world," he goes, "I'll kill you." Right. So I said, he got a point. So I stayed, even though I hated every minute of it. But I guess the good thing that came out of it, I've met people over the years that really came up to me very sincerely and said, you got me out of a really dark place. I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for listening to you guys and everything like that. So I guess things come around.
Sure, man. And it's one of those things where, and I have to wrap up in like 2 minutes. I'm leaving 5 minutes early today because I'm going to Anthony's show, and so I put in the ads at the end. But you're part of an iconic thing too, which I guess is bittersweet. Okay, I wish I was making more cash off this, but you've done something that it really resonates, man. It's like a fucking pop culture thing that everybody knows.
Yeah, it was at one time, wasn't it? But hey, listen, I just really called to bust balls about hey, did you ever see the movie? But I was just kidding. I just wanted to say hello because you're always a good guy, and I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, Kamal, and email me at the real Jim Norton. Send me your current number, and I'm in the city, so we'll if you want to meet up, we'll grab lunch or something. It'd be great to see you.
Okay, you got it, man. Thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Bye.
Take care. It's funny. I saw the name Kamal, and I was like, oh, it's just another guy from Kamal. I didn't realize he was in Queens. So, all right. Good to hear from my friend Kamal. I got about a minute real quick. Let's just say real quick. Dave in New York. One more question. What's up, Dave?
What's going on, Jim? Happy birthday, man.
Oh, you little doll. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Hey, listen, man, I was listening to your show, to the advice show, in kind of like on a marathon setting, and I noticed a lot of callers calling up and asking you, similar questions. I lost my wife a little over a year ago to cancer, and it's been somewhat difficult. I've been putting myself back out there in the dating scene, and, some of my friends are telling me that I should take some more time to myself, and I wonder, how you're able to do that and not, put yourself out there to date. How do you keep yourself occupied so that you're enjoying your own company?
Well, I date a lot. I just go out and I eat. And a lot of the dates, like last night, there was nothing sexual about it. It's hard to say how do I do it because I'm not against a relationship. I just keep myself busy. Like a lot of times, dude, I do radio in the morning and I do my gym and stuff like that. And then I have a set at night and I'm a lot of times just too busy to go out. And I want to go out, but I got too much stuff to do. So the times where I am, I don't put pressure on these moments. Like I don't go, all right, I got to fuck this girl. Hey, just go out to dinner. Be a real person. I look at it like you're living your life and this is what normal people do. So that's kind of how I stay grounded with it. But a relationship would be nice if it happened.
Are those okay? Are those women expecting, or do they have the idea that you guys might end up in a relationship, though?
I don't know. I'm pretty honest about it, but I think a lot of times they know. If they know anything about me, I'm pretty honest about my proclivities. But it is a possibility we will. It's never a definite yes or a definite no, and when it happens, it will happen. Like, I'm never lying if I tell a girl I like her, but sometimes if they want something too fast or a little more intense than I do, then we just kind of part ways. And if I want something different than they do, they fucking jump, But I try to be straight with them if I can.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. That's pretty good advice. And I have found myself in a couple of situations where I've kind of played that intense role myself and I've scared people off, and I don't like to be that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's easier to take it slowly, but I get threatened very easily. I got to run, buddy, because I'm actually late, but I appreciate your call very much. Okay?
No, thank you so much. Have fun with Ant. Tell him everybody says hello. We miss him.
All right. I'm going over to the as we call it, the bunker. So I will see you guys. And Lou, thanks for doing the ads at the end of the show, I guess. Give me a couple extra minutes. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with little Sweetie Ope. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real.